This trip was freezing cold, windy, I nearly got stuck a couple of times, and I found myself unknowingly trespassing on private land. But the best adventures are those that push you to the limits of your comfort zone and challenge you to become a better version of yourself. This was that trip for me. I learned quite a bit on this trip, but the biggest takeaway is that I need to trust my instincts if something feels off. My name is David, and this is how I got off the grind. Another weekend, another trip. So I'm out here with my buddies, Jeff from Where To Next Overland. You've seen him on the channel before. And then Kevin, you can find him, Luca the Raptor, on Instagram. So he's got a super cool first gen Raptor, which I'm hoping we can hear that V8 a little more throughout the trip.
If you give me enough room in the back.
Fair enough. So we just got done airing down. We're gonna hit the trail. There's a specific spot that I really wanna see that I've been to, I think once, but I wasn't able to stay there for whatever the reason. So hoping this trip will be my chance to actually stay there.
What lens are you running?
I've got the Sony.
So we found camp at this amazing campsite overlooking Frenchman Coulee. There's a waterfall over there, and we're gonna have an incredible sunset. But we wanted to snag this spot quickly because it's a very popular spot. So we just kind of got here, set up camp, and we'll be doing more exploring tomorrow. But for tonight, we're just gonna hang out by the fire, share some stories, drink some whiskey, and it's gonna be good. I take my old fashions very seriously. So when I'm out with a group of guys who enjoy whiskey like I do, I have to make it for them. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Cheers. Oh, that's good. That's really good.
You like that?
That was really good.
That's what I needed in my life.
Now what we need is a big fire.
To me, there's nothing better than sitting around a campfire with an amazing view and a glass of whiskey with your friends. I am super pumped that this campsite finally worked out. What an incredible view to wake up to. So last night was a lot of fun, just hanging out with the guys, sitting by the campfire, just chilling. But today is where the real adventure begins. Both Jeff and Kevin got to head back home, so we might get a little bit of exploring beforehand. But when they start heading west, I'm gonna start heading east. There's some land out in central Washington that I'm really interested in checking out. It's all BLM land. So we have the Coffeepot Lake and the Twin Lakes Recreation Area that I wanna go check out. And I'm very much looking forward to it, because from satellite view, looks like it should be some pretty incredible views. So, time for coffee, breakfast, pack up, and we'll get out of here and start the adventure.
On our way in last night, this hill was very slick, so we anticipated a challenge getting out of here. As you can see, however, all the trucks made it out of here with no problem whatsoever. Though it was brief, we had an awesome time together, but it was time to go our separate ways. Kevin and Jeff ended their trip here and headed home, but I turned east to continue exploring.
What a freaking cool spot. It's far more developed than I thought it was. I didn't think there were actual campgrounds here, or like campsites. But man, this is super cool. Like all the rock faces, there's an old abandoned building over there that I highly doubt I can get to, but I'd love to try. The geese and other wildlife are pretty active. And these trees are the craziest yellow I've ever seen. So I definitely have a little bit more exploring to do before I set up camp for the night. Yeah, it's 1 o'clock now, so way too early for camp, and I'm way too excited to explore this area, so definitely gonna get back out. But this would be a good place for a quick lunch. I just wanted to walk this path real quick. I don't know if it's worth taking the Bronco down or not. Seems a little narrow, and I don't know if there's like a turnaround point, but this is a freaking cool spot. There's a lot of trees around here, like more than you would expect for the area of Washington that I'm in. Normally it's just very flat and very sparse as far as vegetation is concerned. So to have full-on trees, it's a little crazy. I am conflicted. This spot is pretty insane. And I got a hawk flying around, keeping me company right now. Look at this view though. Man, it's gorgeous. The only issue I have with this spot is, first of all, it's still snowing. So I'm a little bit concerned because the road in was pretty steep, like really wet right now. So I think overnight that's gonna freeze and be extremely difficult to get out of here in the morning.
After taking in the view, I decided not to stay at that stop. And on my way out, I found that that was a good decision.
That's what I do to get shots for you guys. That's fun. Okay, putting on the rear locker. This is the hill that I was telling you guys about that I think would be sketchy in the morning, and it's sketchy now, so. I'm not going anywhere.
Both front and rear locker on and still not going anywhere, I decided to try some brute force.
Yeah, I definitely think I made the right call. Sometimes momentum is king. Oh man, this area is more beautiful than I thought it was going to be. This is insane. When I set out on these adventures, there are a couple things that I'm looking to do while I'm out. I would love to be able to test the rig a little bit and actually do something challenging with it, but that's hard a little bit in Washington State. Most of the stuff is just forest roads. But But the biggest thing for me is to have an experience and to be someplace that is just gorgeous and kind of like takes my breath away. This might be that spot for me. I think I'm gonna set up camp for tonight, but tomorrow there's some stuff around here that I want to explore and see what all this area has to offer. I know I talked to you guys about iCamper a lot. Hopefully you're not sick of it, but I really genuinely love their products. Everything I have from them, the chair, the barbecue, this fridge, the VO Pro series, everything they have is just phenomenal. I love their products. I love working with them because they've been a massive supporter of my channel for a long time. And they're just a great company all the way around. And they asked me to tell you guys about an upcoming sale. So iCamper is turning 5 years old this year. And to celebrate that, they're having a massive sale. So everything on the site is gonna be 30% off. They also just sent me out this cover, which is really nice. And I like that it's in silver too. But this provides an additional layer of insulation for the fridge, as well as some protection. So if you pick up a fridge, I would highly recommend doing this at the same time, because you put them in the bed of the truck, you put them in the cab like this, wherever you put your fridge, it is bound to be tossed around with some stuff and end up, you can scratch it, dent it, stuff like that. It's not gonna hurt the operation of the fridge, but you wanna make it last as long as possible, right? Because it's an investment. This cover is really nice. I am really liking it. It's actually really easy to get in and out of it. It's all Velcro. It just comes right off. So anyways, I hope you guys don't get sick of me talking about iCamper. Like I said, I've used their products for a very long time and I am a believer in them. And I'm never gonna recommend something to you that I don't sincerely enjoy and think is a good product. And iCamper, everything that I've tested, it's been a good product, ones that I really enjoy using. So I'm gonna get camp set up. Kind of looks like some weather's rolling in, so I don't know if it's gonna start raining or not, but yeah, get camp set up, get a fire going, and just relax. It's supposed to be very cold tonight, and the temperature is already dropping pretty quick, so I'm not messing around. I need a fire, so I'm cheating tonight.
This is the first time I've done one of these in the car, but it is so windy and freezing outside. I needed to get away and get some coverage. So good morning, got my coffee already. I saved you guys from having to see another coffee montage this morning. So I was poking around the map a little more last night as I was sitting by the fire, and I think the plan is to go back to Coffeepot Lake. There's a spring at the end of it, and there's really interesting shoreline, like with layers of different colors and stuff that I really want to see, and I don't know if this time of year it's going to be as vibrant as it would otherwise, but I really want to see that. And ultimately, I would love to find a way down to that little cabin that was abandoned. Looking at it from the drone, it doesn't look like there's a path down to it, but I would love to figure out a way to see that. And that's also going to put me in an area like the opposite side of the shoreline that I was yesterday, so I could see more of the lake and more of those layers that I was talking about. So I think that's the plan for today, which I'm going to warn you, it might mean hiking. I love abandoned buildings like this. This is so cool. Definitely some farmers, some cattle herders or something own this land, and they have since moved on. It's just so cool to see how this stuff is many years later. Who knows how long. I love this. Check out this old plow. This is so dope. It is. I wonder how old that is. I haven't been able to find a date on here anywhere. Man, I mean, it has to be like early 1900s, right? Look at these wheels. That is a hand crank to start the engine. I don't think I've ever seen that in person. This kind of seems to be happening a lot. It's a bummer. So it's kind of interesting. When I was doing research for the area, I noticed that there's like a lot of roads on BLM land, but those roads begin on private land like this. So I don't know what my move is here. This is I mean, it says no trespassing, so even if it wasn't locked, I wouldn't tempt fate with that. But it's just kind of a bummer, because I know that this road leads to BLM land. So I'm gonna get on the map and see if there's another way around it, because I really want to get to the springs down there, and hopefully to that abandoned building, but we'll see. After many more locked gates and no trespassing signs, I finally found my way in. Or so I thought, but we'll get to that a little later.
Let's go. I was losing faith.
As I was sitting at the lake, just taking everything in, something caught my eye on the top of a hill overlooking this area, and I decided I needed to check it out.
So I saw this cave from down at the rocks when I first pulled in, and I was like, okay, I have to go check that out. I got up here and I noticed that there is a game camera set up. So a couple things with that. To my knowledge, game cameras are used for more elusive creatures. So mountain lions in my area, I would imagine is more so what that would be. I don't think you can actually hunt them though, so maybe I'm off base there. But another thing that makes me think is this might be private property, because that's just chilling there, and then down on the rocks there's like a duck hunting little hideout. So I'm bummed, but I think I've kind of hit the limit of what I can do here. What a view though. Okay, so I was out exploring this area, and this fine gentleman was tailing me on my way out. You guys know at this point I was a little bit cautious coming in here anyways, because there was a lot of things marked private property, and I was really trying to get to some BLM land that we're actually right next to right now, but you were kind enough to explain kind of how that works. So what is the deal there?
So there is landlocked public land. So
Right.
this is BLM. It is open to the public, but it does happen to be completely surrounded by private. And as a person who personally enjoys public land, I know it's a bummer, but we do have some projects going on here, and we don't allow trespassing. And thankfully, you were a very nice trespasser. And
Which isn't always the case. I've learned.
It's hard. There's a lot of different resources in order to see what's private and what's public, and it's not always all up to date.
Yeah, but he recommended I switch to Onyx, because right now I use Gaia, and none of that stuff is marked on Gaia. At least the layer, I have the public land map layer, and it's not marked on there at all. So Onyx is a lot better about marking that stuff. So in the future, I'm going to start using them. But this is really kind of, I'm so glad that you stopped me and we talked, because it's not something I really knew about or how to handle. So please keep that in mind. If you're out doing exploring and you see a bunch of private property or stuff that isn't necessarily marked as public or private on a map, just tread super lightly and err on the side of caution when it comes to that stuff. Because you were super nice, but I don't think other people would have been. So.
Well, a lot of it has to do with the demeanor of the person you're interacting with, and
Sure.
pretty immediately I knew you weren't up to no good. So
That he knows.
it and he had a pretty damn cool truck that I wanted to look at too, so that helped.
Get a Bronco.
After this, I felt my time exploring for this trip was done, so I started to head home. I do want to come back to this area to explore more, but until then, I hope you're able to get off the grid and off the grind. I'll see you in the next one.